Continuing where we left off in the last movie with Flash, we created a slideshow that went through each frame for each picture. Now what we want to do is add some sort of a fade-in effect to make the slideshow a little bit more interesting, and then eventually move our photos out of the way so we can at least see our title up here. So for each one of these, what we have to do is first convert the image, because each one of these pictures, all it is an actual image. It's a bitmap. We need it to first of all be a graphic symbol so that we can change the alpha, so that we can make the transparency 0 in the first frame and 100% in the final frame. And then, in order to do that in each frame, we want to convert it to a movie clip. Remember that movie clips are little movies inside of the main movie. So each one of these is going to be a little movie that fades from 0% to 100% and stops at that and waits for the user to go to the next frame, which we already have that action script created in the first frame. That we know that that works. So I'm just going to do a few of these to give you an idea of what we have to do. So in the first photos, I want to come in here on this picture. This is Ben Queller, and I want to select the image, and I want to say modify, convert to symbol. We want it first to be a graphic symbol. So I'm just going to call it Ben and say, okay. Then I also want to make it a movie clip because this graphic symbol of Ben is going to sit in the Ben movie clip. So modify, convert to symbol, movie clip. And I'm going to name this in a corresponding name, Ben MC, for the Ben movie clip. So now this is the Ben movie clip. If I double click on it, I'm in the Ben movie clip. And this item inside the Ben movie clip is that graphic, the thing that we made first, the instance of Ben. Very simple. So now I just want to tween it, and I can do that one of two ways. I can do a control click and create a motion tween, or I can make sure I have the frame selected, and I can say insert motion tween. Either one will work. Bam, the tween is set up for us. It's so much easier in CS4. All we have to do is go to the first frame, click on the image, and we want to change the color effect of the alpha down to 0. It automatically puts it down there for us. And in the final frame, we want to make sure, as we click on it, the alpha is up to 100%. And if we scroll across all the frames, Flash automatically defaulted to 24 frames, which is 2 seconds. I think that's fine. You can modify this by moving this back and forth if you need to, but basically you've got 0% alpha in the first frame and 100% in the last frame. Now this is going to continue to do the tween over and over again unless we add a stop. So I'm going to add a layer. We're still in the movie clip, remember. I'm going to add a layer to put a stop here so that it just fades in once. I'll hit an F6, and then I'll come over here to my actions panel, which is still open on the side, and type in stop to make sure that it gets there and stops. So you have the tiny A here and the tween here. So let's test it. Test it. Ben Queller now fades in. But the next one doesn't fade in yet, so we want to keep going. So I'll do at least one more of these. We want to go back to the main scene. We want to click in the photos layer on the second photo. We want to click on this photo. We want to modify, convert to symbol, first to a graphic. And this is better than Ezra. And then the second time as a movie clip. And I'll call it better than Ezra movie clip. And now we can click on that. We're in the Better Than Ezra movie clip. I will create a motion tween, automatically created, bam, just like that. We click on him in the first frame, adjust the alpha to 0. Last frame, click on it, adjust the alpha to 100. We have the nice tween effect of the fade in on him, and we'll add a layer for our actions. And in that 24th frame, I'll put an F6 and get our actions up here to stop it. So now we have 2 of those. And if I go back to the scene and do a control test movie, you can see the Ben Queller fades in and the Better Than Ezra picture fades in. So I would do that to every one of these in the slideshow. Very simple. Convert to a graphic symbol, convert to a movie clip, go into the movie clip and set up the tween, and then put a stop action. But the one problem that we're having in all of these now is that we have this image that's covering. So in some of these I might just move it down using the arrow key, so to get it out of the way. And because it's in a movie clip now, everything will come with it. All the tweens, all the symbols inside of that movie clip will come down with it. For the second one, we probably have to transform it a bit. So I'm hitting the transform tool, hold the shift key, make him a little smaller, and then kind of move it down. And we want to do that for each one. There are some really interesting tools on the panel that will help you select it and understand what your X and Y position is and your width and height. So if you want to make them all consistent depending on if they're portrait or landscape across the full slideshow, you can do that. So now if we do Control Test Movie, we have this. Now our title is no longer obscured. And the same thing with this one. We haven't done the rest of them yet. We want to go through and do that to the rest of them. So now our slideshow is pretty much complete. There are things that you can do, like adding a previous button to this, which would just mean taking a button that looks just like this, maybe even an instance of the same symbol from the library of our next button, and flipping it around with the transform tool. And then we would have to create an action in that first layer, an additional action, almost the exact same thing here, except in the function we create a new function that would tell it to go to the previous frame. So now that we're done, we want to always be saving as we go. And then we want to publish eventually. We need to look at the publish settings first, and we want to make sure that it makes a Flash, SWF, and an HTML page. And we want to double check that we're in ActionScript 3.0 because that's what we're using. And then you say publish. Once we do it this one time and check the publish settings, we don't really have to come to this interface anymore. We can just go to File, Publish. Now what that does is it created an HTML page. So I'm going to open up a new browser window so that we can check that. And it created the HTML page in the folder where the FLA was created. So it created slideshow.html and slideshow.swf, and it put it in an HTML page. And this HTML page can obviously be brought into Dreamweaver to change things like the title, to add things like how to get the Flash player, your email, your date, or anything else that you want to put on the page in HTML. This is just a regular HTML page. And CS4 Flash provides everything you need in order to make this play in the browser. And that completes our exercise for making a Flash slideshow.